LinkedIn Live event. I'm so grateful that you are here. I'm so glad that you're investing in yourself, in your business, and in your leadership today. My goal is to add value to you and for you to be able to walk away from this and say, I'm so glad I invested my time there today. I'm going to ask you as we start, are you tired of feeling like you're constantly putting out fires in your agency? Are you tired of just reacting to what's happening every 5 minutes? Do you feel like you're just reacting all day long to the questions and the demands and the interruptions of other people? It is time to break free from that. It is time to break free from the cycle of reactivity and embrace what I call calm control in your leadership approach. Now, whether you are a seasoned agency owner or whether you're just getting started in the digital marketing world, today is designed to help you to elevate your leadership game and to help you achieve greater success without living in the chaos of reactivity. Today, I want to dive deep into some strategies and some techniques that I believe can help you to shift from reactive decision making into proactive, calm leadership in your agency. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. William Attaway. I'm an executive coach. I specialize in mindset, leadership, and productivity. I help high performing entrepreneurs, agency owners, business leaders, and their teams to conquer challenging situations, to maximize potential with clear minded focus, with calm control, and with confidence. Mindset is 90% of why people are successful or why they're not. If you are struggling with an unhealthy mindset, if you are overwhelmed by the chaos all around you, if you struggle with focus, if you're fighting self doubt, imposter syndrome, and self sabotage, I can help you. I have been a student of leadership, a leader of teams, and a coach of high performing leaders for nearly 30 years. If you want to intentionally grow your leadership and your mindset, you can book a call with me and let's talk at catalyticleadership.net. So let's get started today. Agency leaders are often pulled in a million different directions. They are juggling client demands, they're juggling team dynamics, and then there is the ever changing landscape of the industry, isn't it? I mean, it's easy to see how we can fall into a pattern of just reacting to what's going on around us rather than proactively leading our teams. But let's start with this. What exactly is reactivity? And why is it such a prevalent issue in agency leadership in particular? Well, reactivity, simply put, is the tendency to respond impulsively and emotionally to outside stimuli. It's that knee jerk reaction that you have when you're faced with a challenge or you're faced with a crisis. Often, this is a response that is driven by fear, by stress, or by uncertainty. Now, it's natural to experience moments of reactivity. We all face those. But allowing it to become the norm in your leadership style can have detrimental effects on your business. It can lead to poor decision making, strained relationships, and ultimately a decline in performance and morale. You will see it reflected on your bottom line. It's not that you might, you will. So the first step in breaking the cycle is to truly understand the impact that reactivity can have on your agency and on your team. Now, as we explore the challenges of reactivity, I want to center ourselves on what I call the solution, and that's calm control. Calm control is the ability to maintain a sense of composure and clarity in the face of challenges, in the face of adversity, and in the midst of chaos. It's about pausing before reacting, assessing the situation calmly, and making thoughtful decisions that are aligned with our values and our objectives as leaders. I was introduced to this idea in a book called Getting Things Done by David Allen. David, early in the book, talks about a concept from the martial arts world, mind like water. Now, imagine for just a second a lake in the mountains. And the lake is situated where the mountains provide a windbreak. And so you look at the surface of the water and it's so calm, it's so peaceful. There's not a ripple on it. Now, if you take a rock and you throw it into that lake, what's going to happen? It's going to splash, right? There's going to be ripples. But those ripples are exactly proportionate to the size of the rock and the velocity of my throw. The water does not overreact and the water does not underreact. It proportionately reacts. And then what happens? It returns to that calm state. This is the calm control that I want for you. You can't control every part of life, can you? You can't control every stimuli. There are going to be rocks thrown into your water, so to speak. But how are you going to deal with that? Are you simply going to be reacting all the time? Or are you going to have a baseline that you return back to? A baseline of calm control. Why is calm control so important? What are the benefits of embracing that in your leadership? Well, for starters, calm control allows you to lead with conviction and with confidence, even in the most challenging of circumstances. It instills trust and confidence in your team. It inspires them to follow your lead and rise to the occasion. Remember, how you lead affects how they follow. They're going to follow your lead. So if you are constantly reacting, you're constantly emotionally responding to what's going on around you, they're going to see that as the norm in this organization, in your business, in your culture. And they're either going to adapt to that and begin to follow your lead, or they're going to leave. Neither of those is what you want. Calm control enables you to navigate ambiguity and uncertainty with grace and with resilience. Instead of being overwhelmed by the chaos that is all around you, instead, you're able to maintain a sense of perspective and focus on finding solutions. You get on the solution side of the problem instead of just focusing on what's going wrong. So how do you break free from the cycle of reactivity, and how do you cultivate that calm control in your leadership approach? I mean, that's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Now, before I jump into that, let me say this. If you're watching this on the replay, I would love it if you would type replay in the comments so I know you were here. I love to connect with everybody who attends these LinkedIn Live events, whether they're here live or whether they watch these later. Well, let me share some good news with you. The good news is that there are several strategies and techniques that you can employ to help you make the transition from simply reacting to what's going on around you to that place of calm control. Let's explore a couple of them together. The first one is this: mindfulness and self-awareness. By practicing mindfulness techniques like deep breathing, box breathing, meditation, and self-reflection, you can cultivate greater self-awareness and emotional resilience. Simply pausing, taking time to reflect. If you're a person of faith like I am, maybe prayer is where you step into this. But pausing and thinking through, okay, wait a minute. Let me evaluate this. Let me not just react emotionally. Let me not just react to what's happening. Let me think about this for just a second and align my response intentionally and purposefully with what matters most to me. This is that self-awareness that you want. This is one of the tools in your bag that will help you to achieve that place of calm control. Another tool is effective communication. That's the tool that fixes everything, isn't it? I mean, every nail needs a hammer, right? Well, effective communication is critical. Clear and open communication is key to reducing reactivity and fostering calm control in your team. If you promote a culture of transparency and honesty, where you give the last 10% of honesty even with each other, that's where the magic is. That's where transformation lives. And if you focus on this and improve your communication internally, you can minimize misunderstandings and conflicts. You can head them off at the pass. You don't have to clean up the mess later because you reacted and said or did something that later you have to apologize for. Clear communication is such a helpful tool. And this is something we're going to be talking about in future LinkedIn Live events. Next month, I'm going to be talking specifically around how to move into a place of transformative communication. How do you become a leader who communicates authentically and transformatively? It is possible, and I want to help you get there. The third strategy that I would give you is setting clear boundaries and priorities. As leaders, it is so important to establish clear boundaries and priorities for ourselves and for our teams. Remember, they're going to follow where you lead. If you don't set proper boundaries, that's what you're leading them to do as well. By focusing on what truly matters and saying no to the distractions that will steer us in different directions, we can maintain our sense of calm control, even in the midst of chaos. If you haven't read his book on this subject, Dr. Henry Cloud wrote a book called Boundaries for Leaders. Highly recommend this. It's so helpful as you are establishing healthy, sustainable boundaries that help you to run and lead in a healthy and sustainable way for the long term. That's what I want for you. Too often people are running at an emotional reactivity level, and that is going to burn out your engine. If you just keep your foot on the gas all the time, you're going to burn your engine out. I want you to run in a healthy and sustainable way. This is what I work with my clients on. I want them to run in a way that is for the long term, not a road that's going to lead to burnout. Now, of course, breaking the cycle of reactivity isn't just about individual leadership, is it? It's also about creating a culture of proactivity within our agencies, within our teams. So, how do we empower our teams to take ownership and initiative in their roles? How do we foster trust and collaboration within our teams? One way is by leading by example. And by demonstrating calm control and proactive decision making in our own leadership style, we set the tone. We set the pace for everyone who follows, for our teams, and we inspire them to do the same. We inspire them now, hey, you know what? I can do this. You can do this too. This is normative here. This is how we do it here. Calm control and proactive decision making. That's how we lead in a healthy and sustainable way. Now, additionally, we can provide our teams with the tools and the resources that they need to succeed. Maybe it's through training. Maybe it's through development opportunities. Maybe it's through streamlined processes and workflows. Or maybe it's in a supportive work environment where we don't fly off the handle at each other, but where we support one another. We encourage one another. We build one another up. We see one another as actual 3D human beings, not just cogs in a machine. Ultimately, by cultivating a culture of proactivity and calm control within our agencies, we can break free from the cycle of reactivity and we can achieve greater success and greater satisfaction as leaders. Now, I'd love to hear what your biggest takeaway is from what I shared here today. I'd love it if you type that in the chat. And if you want some help implementing these strategies and developing an intentional plan for calm control in your life and in your leadership, a real plan for you and your business, you can go to catalyticleadership.net and book a call with me. I'd love to talk with you about this. Let's talk and help you move from where you are, where you're stuck, to where you want to be. I so appreciate your time today. Thank you for being here. I do hope this has been helpful and informative for you. But remember that information without application is not effective. You have to take action. I'm going to challenge every client I coach to take action, and I'm going to challenge you today. Take action with this. Do something with it. If you want different results, you have to do something different. And knowing what to do and when to do it matters. Keep learning, keep growing, and be relentlessly intentional about clear minded focus and calm control. If you don't have a coach, find one. Choose a coach who is for you, who will help you to achieve the goals that you have for this year and beyond. And remember, nothing is going to change until you change it. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. Thank you again for your time today, and I'll hope to connect with you soon. Have a great week.